Good morning, moto friends, motor riders, MC friends. Morning, time to get up. It's actually really late for me anyways. I actually woke up, it's 9:30 on a Friday. I actually woke up like at 7 or 6 something. And then I went back to sleep. So, we're just going to get on with the day. What do you think? All right, let's go. No bread. None. I probably shouldn't have that anyway. I love this induction stove. It's pretty cool. We wanted to get some gas, but like a gas stove. Not gas, like, you know. Wanted to get a gas stove, but this house doesn't have any gas lines here, so which is a bummer. We didn't actually build this house, we bought it like it was already built, and so yeah, we just had to make do, you know. But I like it, it's pretty cool. And it doesn't waste as much energy as people think it does, it really doesn't. Keep in mind, we live here in Louisiana and it's hot as hell, pretty much, I don't know, 9 months out of the year. It's pretty humid and hot. And it's actually, we have to use a lot of AC, so, you know, usually electricity bills come up pretty high because of that, but no, it's not too bad actually. And having everything electric here, you know, like the stove, everything is like, you know, but it's not bad. It's actually pretty cool. So I'm done with my brunch. Right, we're gonna make our coffee. Can't start day without coffee. Oh yes, yummy breakfast. Well, lunch I guess. It's 11. Alright guys, today it's a little bit overcasted. Hopefully I don't get rained on. It's about 20% chance of rain, so I might. But anyways, I wanted to talk to you guys about I guess motorcycle safety. It's not gonna be motorcycle safety per se, more of what can we do as riders to be safer on the road. I think that's gonna be mainly the thing. There's a bunch of things and tips and stuff on motorcycle safety. If you have a motorcycle license, you should at least know the basics of motorcycle safety. If you know how to ride a motorcycle, there's a bunch of common sense stuff that you should know. Well, first, to be proficient at riding a bike, you know, before you go on the road. And even if you're just doing off-road riding, you know, you want to be kind of proficient at it. You don't want to be learning, especially when you go on the road. And if you're doing some off-road riding, if you get into if you want to start doing some more technical stuff, you want to kind of be a little bit proficient on it. So, And we're gonna address that later on, maybe on this video, or maybe I'll do a separate video on that. But this one is basically, what can we do as riders to be a little bit safer on our bikes when we ride? You know, considering that there's a lot of people out there that they can't really, they don't care, or they're not paying attention. And so we are a little bit more vulnerable when we're out there. So yeah, so that's what can we do to make it easier, not necessarily easier, but better for us, safer for us when we're riding. And there's a few things that we can do to make it better, to have a more enjoyable ride experience when we're out there on the road. Of course, understanding that there's a lot of things that we, as a matter of fact, most of the things out there we have no control over. You know, we can control how people drive or ride, or we can control if pedestrians are actually watching or not, or cars or trucks or whatever. You know, we have no control over people, and for that reason, it could be, I mean, it is dangerous to ride a bike on the road. So it is important that we as riders take action over that. Let's say, you know, we can force people to watch for us, and even if they were watching for us, because we are on a motorcycle. A motorcycle is a lot smaller, you know, than a car, so we are a much smaller footprint on the road. So even if they're watching for us or trying to keep an eye on us, it's hard for them. I mean, it's we are easy, we can hide easy on blind spots and stuff, so it is harder for people to notice us. Not that they don't want to, a lot of times they are kind of watching, make sure that we, you know, that they're looking for us, you know, make sure that they don't hit us or anything, but it's not always the case. So all right, so I just got Subway. I need to go get some lunch for my wife, and I'll be right back. All right, we're back at it again. I need to go to my wife's job to bring this food sandwich. I don't know, it looks like almost like an overkill to wear this jacket just to go for a freaking 10-minute ride. Whatever, safety first, right? So as I was saying, you know, there's a lot of things that we have no control over when we're riding. You know, people, you know, drivers, riders, the weather. Although we can check the weather ahead of time before we ride and stuff, things can happen. I mean, sometimes the weather is wrong. Sometimes where you're going, I mean, it wasn't supposed to rain, and then along the way it started raining or snowing or whatever. So those things we can't control, but the one thing that we have 100% control over is ourselves. Unless, I don't know, you have some sort of illness or something, then you can't really, you know, control yourself. But you shouldn't be riding a motorcycle or driving a vehicle if that's the case anyways. So since we have control, 100% control of ourselves, then I think, in my opinion anyways, the most important thing we can do is be aware of our surroundings when we ride and when you drive. Or actually, as a matter of fact, anytime, especially nowadays with this world being so crazy, you want to be aware of what's going on around you. There's what people are kind of doing around you. You don't want to be nosy or anything, but you kind of, you know, keep an eye on people, you know, just to be safe. If we watch around, I mean, we keep an eye on what's going on around us, you're most likely to be able to react properly, or you may have a little bit more time to react upon a situation or an emergency stop or whatever it is, you know. And so yeah, it is important for us to keep an eye on everything out there. There's a lot of things that can happen, you know, besides just traffic or people driving like crazy. Animals on the road, or the road conditions could change, and you're gonna have to be aware of what's going on, keep an eye on it. I remember one time I was riding, and they had like a construction going on the way to where I was going, and the dump trucks and you know, tractors and stuff like that. So the road at that place where they were doing the work, the construction stuff, because of trucks and dump trucks and tractors and stuff going in and out from that area, that road, that part of the road was really it had a lot of dirt and rocks and gravel, you know, and so you had to be a lot more careful when you ride around there. And so if you weren't, and it actually was right at a turn, and if you weren't paying attention, you could, if you were just riding the normal way, you didn't adjust your riding, you were probably likely to fall. And so yeah, that's just, you know, an example of why it is important to be aware of what's around you, what's going on. Keep an eye on what's coming up, coming ahead, behind you, next to you. You don't know what people can do or what things can happen while you're riding. So I think that's the number one thing that will definitely improve the, I guess, the riding experience when you're riding. Now at first it's gonna be kind of exhausting, especially if you're not used to doing that, and it's going to be a little bit overwhelming because it's kind of, at first it's kind of hard, you know, to start to go, okay man, I need to watch here, there, back, you know, next to me. And it does get tiring, it gets overwhelming, and it's like, oh my god man, I just want to just relax and ride, you know. Only thing is that if you get too comfortable to relax when you're riding and you're not paying attention, that's when accidents, you know, could happen. And so yeah, be relaxed. And so eventually, after a while of you doing that, getting used to paying attention to your surroundings and what's going on around you, it's going to be second nature, and it's not going to be tiring, it's not going to be overwhelming anymore. It's just going to be just normal, just the way you ride, and you're gonna be able to relax, and at the same time you're gonna be watching everywhere. And so it's gonna be a lot better. So yeah, I mean, it takes a little bit of time, but it's not gonna take you like years or anything. It's just a few rides that you're doing that, and you're gonna get used to it. So I think that's the one thing that will decrease your chances of getting into an accident on the road, or even off road, like even if you're by yourself off road. So of course there's all the things that you can also do that are under your control. Keeping up with the maintenance of your motorcycle, making sure that your bike is always ready to ride. What I normally do, I don't do this every time I ride. If I tell you that I do it every time I ride, I'll be lying. But I do kind of like a pre-ride check of the bike, and I do it once a week. Usually, I don't know, any time, just once a week, kind of check over the bike, tire pressure, make sure that all the bolts are, you know, when they need to be, like tightened up and all that. Make sure that my fluids are good, you know, oil and all that. And you know, just keep up with the general maintenance, not to the not with the, well, yeah, you have to keep up with the deep maintenance, like valve clearance and all that stuff. But I'm talking about more of the along the lines of oil changes. Make sure that your tires are inflated to the proper tire pressure and things like that, you know. Another thing that's important is keep up with your riding gear, and also, you know, select your riding gear accordingly. You don't have to be all suited up to go commute around town. Not necessary. You can just go, I mean, just be smart about it. I'm not telling you to do, you know, I'm not saying that riding in shorts and flip-flops and a t-shirt to go commute around, you know, during the summertime, it's good. No, it's not a good idea. You're gonna have to compromise too, you know. But I mean, at least, you know, wear, you know, good shoes, like regular shoes, but just good shoes that cover your toes. You can also, if you're comfortable wearing a jacket, a motorcycle jacket and stuff like that, do it, because it will help you if you, in the event of an accident. So that's again, that's something that you will have to control. That's something that you will have to deal with, and nobody else, you know. It's you. I mean, it's up to you. So